So, as most of you will know, Fallout is one of my favourite gaming franchises that I've ever played. But I've only ever done gameplay videos about it and not lore videos. So today I'm going to give it a go. It's at the request of one of my Patreons. So most people know the lore of Fallout, but I really wanted to cover something that seemed to be a little lacking in video format. What was the world of the Commonwealth like before the sole survivor took his or her first tottering steps forward into their new irradiated world? Not what do they make of it, but literally what were they walking into? So please join me as we explore the Commonwealth before the sole survivor leaves their mark on it. When we first leave the vault, there isn't much for us to go on. The world is literally a wasteland. We don't know what it's called anymore, what's going on, or who or what has survived to this point. Even when taking a walk into Sanctuary Hills for the first time, there are no humans there, just your old friend Cogsworth. So you'd be forgiven for thinking that you were the last human left alive. Unless you talk to the floating butler, you'd probably keep thinking that until you walk into Concord and find raiders attacking a ragtag group of survivors. So that is the first thing that we actually learn. Humans are rarer than they used to be. The creatures of the waste are also bigger, meaner, and nastier than anything that the sole survivor remembers. You know, stingwings being one of the main ones. The Boston that they know and love has gone and is replaced with the Commonwealth, a name probably taken from pre-war texts about the area that the people lived in. In its place is a wasteland where only large groups of people survive and small farmsteaders tend to get run over by one of the many subgroups or raiders. The biggest boogeyman of the waste is the Institute, rumoured to have the technology to create synthetic human beings for an unknown purpose. They kidnap people and replace them for reasons unknown and are widely feared due to their apparently destructive nature. Please refer to the broken mask incident, I suppose, in Diamond City. They are known to have informants and mercenaries that work for them, and they are the main reason that any outsiders to a population are mistrusted and treated with disdain in the beginning. Diamond City, again, being one of the major ones that the sole survivor comes across. After all, if you don't know someone, how can you tell if they have been replaced by a synth, or even if they are a synth to begin with? There are other more prevalent dangerous human groups that the sole survivor comes into contact with pretty much from the word go. As mentioned, raiders are some of the first enemies a low-level soul will come into contact with and can prove to be a handful when in large groups. They don't really have any tactical minds and just use brute force and chems to eventually overrun their opponents. They attack settlers, large settlements, caravans, and anyone that they can get their hands on. Bloodthirsty and often pictured as drug-crazed lunatics, these guys are a danger to everyone in the Commonwealth, including themselves. The Gunners are a more advanced type of raider, more militaristic and with better weapons, even with some robots at their disposal, shown off the most at their Quincy HQ. These guys will do anything for caps, and are possibly the biggest mercenary force in the Commonwealth. They are not the good guys, though, dealing with murderers, slavers, taking what they want. They are also a hard group to leave, as Macready found out. Once a gunner, always a gunner. They have tactics and are not beyond bribery to get what they want. Recently, they took over the towns of Quincy and murdered all of its residents except for the small band. Shit. Recently, they took over the town of Quincy and murdered all of its residents, except for the small band that escaped with Preston Garvey, the last Minuteman. Until recently, the Minutemen were a respected force for good in the Commonwealth, boasting of being able to be where they were needed in a minute's notice whenever anyone called. They came to a beleaguered Quincy, where they were supposed to help defend the town from gunners, but betrayed by one of their own, the Minutemen have been brought low, and now there is only Preston Garvey left. Whether the legend of the Minutemen dies in this ignoble manner or raises up from the ashes is ultimately up to you, the sole survivor. Other than the now occupied Quincy, there are 3 other notable towns in the Commonwealth. These are the towns of Diamond City, though it's not really a city, Good Neighbour and Bunker Hill. Chalk and cheese to each other are Diamond City and Good Neighbour. Diamond City is home to the racist, classist humans, while Goodneighbor is ultimately more accepting of anyone, though this gives it a bad reputation for being a drug-fueled murder hole. Bunker Hill is somewhere in between these two towns. Ultimately, it is a trading town where caravans pass through. Finally, there is the glowing sea, a hellscape of a place where the bombs dropped all those years ago. The creatures here are hardier than even the rest of the Commonwealth, and a perpetual radstorm hangs over the area. Only the crazy children of Atom live there, and they are normally a bother to no one, but can offer the sole survivor help as long as they are not outwardly hostile. So that's it, a brief overview of the Commonwealth before the events of Fallout 4. I'd like to say a special thank you to my Patreon Colin, who requested this video. I do hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please leave a comment and a like down below. Do you fancy getting your own video made? I do take requests, but Patreon backers get first dibs over what gets made. If you're interested, please follow the link down below. And as always, take care, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!